Even today, some pilgrims make the long and difficult journey to get to the Hajj. Like Muhammad Abid, he's here both as a pilgrim and as a journalist. He's looking at a breathtaking image he's just made, where the whole Muslim world's represented. But Palestinian photographer Muhammad Abid is between two worlds. Here in Mecca, he's both journalist and pilgrim. His life and livelihood is Gaza. He says he's had enough.
I need to change my mood. Every time I shoot blood, the clashes between Israeli and Arab and Palestinian in Gaza. Okay, I shoot picture, but this is make a problem for me in my mind, in my emotions, you know.
He's emotional in Mecca too, he says, but the difference is he's anxious to cover this story and be a part of it. I saw millions of people going around the Kaaba with the same clothes, the same chants, men and women together. It stopped me in my tracks, he says. Seeing the people circling the Kaaba really moved me. He says he was so awestruck at first he couldn't even shoot. When he finally did, his pictures of the Kaaba ended up in the paper.
Here the light is very bad.
Out in the streets and on the marble of the Grand Mosque, Muhammad aims his camera at the faces he rarely gets to shoot. Like this old man, or these women who wanted to pose. But it's not all smooth outside the Grand Mosque. He runs into police, ever ready to pounce on photographers who aren't allowed near the Kaaba. A few feet away, he sees fellow Palestinians.
You know me?
Taking pictures of them makes him smile. The holiest day of the Hajj pilgrimage is day 2, the day of Arafat. Muhammad puts down his camera and utters a silent prayer alongside almost 3 million Muslims. He has a special plea.
I want to pray to the Palestinian people to finish the occupation and finish the clashes with Israel. This is the important thing. I like this.
Muhammad tries to cleanse his spirit here and erase the images of loss and pain in Gaza and replace them with this. Zain Verji, CNN, on the plain of Arafat. The second day of the Hajj is the climax. It's called the Day of Arafat. I went to the desert plain at dawn.
How are you? Good morning.
How Afghanistan? Assalamu alaikum.
The sun has just risen on the plain of Arafat. I'm standing here on a very sacred place called the Mount of Mercy. The lucky ones have made it here and are going to spend the day in prayer and in meditation. Prophet Muhammad preached his last sermon here, so it's regarded as a very auspicious place to be. Almost 3 million pilgrims are going to spend the day in prayer and in meditation, asking for God's forgiveness. We've been hearing chants on the way up, Labbaik, Allahumma Labbaik, from the pilgrims here, essentially meaning, God, I am here, I am answering your call. I'm going to try and make my way up now, up through these stairs and through the sea of pilgrims here. It's been a little bit difficult, but we're trying and we're getting there. Well, I never made it to the top. I tried, but there were way too many people. I'm headed now to a different part of the plain of Arafat in this mass migration of people. The idea here is that everyone stands equal before God. You can see by the way people are dressed, really, that you can't tell who's rich or who's poor. Pilgrims want to have a spiritual rebirth here. They want their slate to be wiped clean, and they want to get a second chance in life. Zain Verji, CNN, on the plain of Arafat. Here in Mecca, I've spoken to many pilgrims making the Hajj, and everyone's experience is both unique and powerful. Joining us now is 26-year-old Suleiman Mutala from England. What's your Hajj experience been like so far?
Alhamdulillah, it's absolutely brilliant to see different people come over here for Hajj and to meet different people. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Now, this is the third time that you've come,
Yeah, this
right?
is the third time I came over. The first time I came over, I really loved it. I tried to tell different people. I brought a few people over the second time, and Alhamdulillah, like I say, I really love it here. So that's why I've come here for the third time.
You're a young man coming to have this experience. Why is it so important for you to come and come so often?
It's part of my religion. I don't have to come here. The reason why I come here is I feel safe. I feel part of the religion. When I come here, it really hits me in my heart to be amongst with the people who I see over here.
We see a lot of young people here. We see a lot of older people here, and it's difficult for them to go around the Kaaba sometimes. What about as a young man? Is it tough also? I mean, you're fit, you're healthy. Is it tough to go around?
Oh yeah, definitely it is tough. But the thing is, when we are back home, everybody keeps saying you should go do your Hajj in your early years. Not too early and not too old. The early, when I say early, I mean around 25 years old. Because when you come to do your Hajj around 25 years old, you're fit, healthy, and hopefully you can, run.
Yeah, run around,
run around
right,
people.
yeah.
But if you're too,
You can't run. It's completely packed. There's no running there.
when it comes more towards the time of Hajj, then obviously you can't run because you're all cramped up together.
Right.
But you have to be patient. Hajj is patience. You have to be patient. If you don't have patience, then I'm sorry, this isn't the place for you.
Young people tend to be more impatient, don't they, anyway, right?
Yeah, they are, but inshallah, Allah is there with them and they will get the patience with them.
What is it like being young, British and Muslim for you?
Young, alhamdulillah, is okay. I find it harder towards the last couple of years since what's happened around the world. But before them, couple of years or 3 years ago, alhamdulillah, I've never ever had to be, different with people. But since things have changed, I do get some kind of, remarks regards to my religion. But I
Like
intend,
what?
you're terrorist, and what you guys are doing, is it right and everything. But I just intend to just ignore them because my religion is all about friendly. I like to be friendly with people, but if they can't be friendly with me, then that's up to them.
How do you explain to people who are asking questions, especially about young British Muslims, saying, why is it that some of the more affluent ones, the more well-educated ones, turn to terrorism?
The thing is, I don't know how they do it or why they do it. The reason is nothing's happened to me. I went to Palestine in August, and I met a couple of people and I was talking to them regards to this, and they said they've had some, trouble in their lives regards to this, and they've got nothing to do with their lives because they've lost their father, they've lost their mother, they've lost the whole family, and they've got nothing to live for. So that's what they do. They try and go into terrorist side.
So you're saying that things like that, like what's happening in the Palestinian territories, what's happening in Iraq and places like that, makes young Muslim men angry? Is
Yeah,
that
they
what
do.
you're saying?
To be honest, I am angry as well, but I'm not a terrorist. There's different people, different minds around the world. But it's like I say, people have to be patient in everybody's lives. You've got to be patient on what you're doing.
What is it that you would like people to know most about you, about Suleiman, and how you would like to be perceived as a young British Muslim man?
Friendly. I like to be friendly. I am friendly with everybody back home. I'm sure if they're looking at me, they can tell me, they can say to each other and say, oh, I know him. He's a very friendly person. I'm a very harmful.
You're a handful?
Harmful.
Oh yeah.
I don't harm anybody because
Okay.
that's not part of my religion. And I try to act upon what our religion says, just to be friendly with your neighbors, with the people, with your workers, no matter what religion they are or who they are. You just got to be friendly with them.